So we have the news dropped on the heavily rumored Daughters of Cain Warband for Warhammer Underworlds, and it is an outcast twist with a Warband on the Crethusa the Crone side of things, with the Knives of the Crone. Thus they are followers of the deity, the Morai-Heg, the elven goddess of prophecy. They are led by Carnavix, who after dispatching her foes reads the prophecy of her deity, not in tea leaves like a normal English person, but in the blood plasma of her foes. Typical order procedure. With her comes 3 so far unnamed characters in the Archer Boy, the Glaive Girl, and the dual knifing lady with wings with a crazy eyes in the background. I personally like the Archer and the Glaive sculpts, but I'm not a fan of the lame sort of spooky hand pose of the leader. But I like the tactical stare, I guess. And there's just something off with the wings of the dual knifing lady in the background. But overall I think they look okay, nothing like Morgwraiths or Shadeborn though, but on par with say the Arena in terms of looks, I guess. Quite tough competition though. It is supposedly a mastery warband and the prophecy reading is their thing. They get to do a 4 dice prophecy roll at the start of each turn. This might actually be a typo because that sounds insane. I bet it's rather at the start of each round or something like that, but let's see. You also get to roll after each successful attack, which also lends credence to my first suspicion there, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, depending on your results you get different buffs. 2 swords equal crit Grievous for your next melee attack, 2 supports of any combination equals a save reroll for your next save roll, and most interestingly of all, 2 hammers means you get to look at your top objective and either place it top or bottom. This is insanely good in my opinion. To be able to chuck a badly timed search or a far-fetched end phase bottom, or just, if it is feasible, keep it top and hence know what's coming next. That's very, very good. 2 hammers on 4 dice is hardly a tall order, neither is 2 supports of any combination. We don't have crits in this one. I'm sure they have a role to play in the prophecy roll, but we just don't know. They are supposedly a fragile warband, but having frequent save rerolls and potentially an elven 2-dodge inspired, who knows. I think they won't do too shabby in that department either. It all depends on how easy they inspire as well, of course, so let's wait and see. On the way is also a master deck to go along with the warband, or your warband of choice, if you don't fancy these ones. This is interesting since I was expecting our second hold deck, but instead we get a 3rd mastery one. I don't mind, I don't particularly like playing hold anyway, but it is surprising. This one is called Realmstone Raiders and it focuses on deck manipulation, so it should fit just fine with the elves here who already have a fair bit of that themselves. This one comes with a plot card, which means you can't mix it with another deck that has a plot card, which is a bummer, sort of limits the deck building aspect of the game. But anyway, after each successful melee attack you can raid cards equal to the bounty of the target, and when you raid you reveal the top card of your power deck, which then counts that card as having been raided. If it is an Emberstone card specifically, you can put it top or bottom, and if the card has the Emberstone Ploy search ability, you can immediately play that card after raiding it. If it is instead an upgrade, you can immediately equip it. Wow, that's not shabby. It all depends, of course. I suppose there's balance here in that these specific cards with these search abilities aren't the most broken ploys and upgrades in the game, but still, that is pretty wild. The downside though with this is hidden in the fine script in the bottom there. If you raid a card that is not an Emberstone card, you have to put it bottom. So reveal a super card in your Nemesis build that's not from this card allotment specifically, you have to put it bottom. So it's a bit of a risk and reward kind of a deal. I like it. Then we get to look at a select few cards from this bunch. First up, we have the Emberstone Stash, which tells us we get 1 glory for raiding 4 or more different Emberstone cards. Do note that cards count as Emberstone cards, regardless if they have the search ability or not. So we might have, say, a Great Strength in here as an Emberstone card, but without the search ability, which would still count it towards having scored this card. This seems pretty easy, and it should be for 1 glory. Next up we have a Step Ahead, which does have the Emberstone Ploy search symbol there. We get to pick a friendly fighter in neutral or enemy territory and push it closer to an enemy fighter. This is very interesting wording. So if we are, say, adjacent to one enemy, but we are, say, 4 steps away from another enemy fighter, we could push towards the fighter that is 4 hexes away from us to be 3 hexes from that fighter, and thus closer to an enemy fighter. That might not be how they intended the card to work, but it is what it says, and thus it makes the card very, very good. But let's see. Lastly, we get to look at Armor Piercer, which is a 2 glory upgrade with the Emberstone Search ability, and it lets us do 1 damage even if we just draw in the attack, if the damage characteristic of our attack is greater than the save characteristic of the defending fighter. It is a one-off though, as it is discarded after having been used, but it's very solid if we know we simply need to do 1 damage to achieve our goals, so I think it's a very interesting card. Some really fun stuff here that would surely stir up the meta in the coming weeks. I'll keep you posted as soon as I have more information. Let me know what your thoughts are on the sculpts, the Warband mechanics that we know so far, and the first look on the Mastery deck as well. Take care, bye. Lastly, a big shout out to all my members that help support my content and makes it so much easier for me to produce multiple videos on a weekly basis. Members do get access to the member Discord, get to influence the content, get early access to a ton of videos, as well as get featured in the monthly painting showcase if they want. Member or not, I dearly appreciate the like, the comment and the subscription.